Hello, everybody! This is OB2 coming at you with for my review of episode 9 of The World is Still Beautiful. Now, this, in my book, was a monumental episode. The ending had the greatest thing ever in the series happen at the end of the episode. So this was a monumental episode for me. Now let's get into this. Now, this episode kicks off with, preparations for a huge ceremony. King Levis and Princess Nike basically having to dress up and host this huge thing with Baldwin the whole time, the Prime Minister again, by their sides, and they're really going at this, and they're really going like, oh, do I have to do this? Do I have to sit through all this? Damn it, no! So, I love the reactions between Levis and Nike, and even Baldwin's like that. And Levis leans over to Nike and says, when this is all over, let's go on a vacation, just you and me. And Baldwin's like, just them? Dude, I need a freaking vacation. And Levis is like, dude, you're the Prime Minister. This is why we have you around. That way I can goof off with Nike and have some fun, and you can take care of some of this shit so I don't have to. So I really was loving that aspect in the episode. But they're prepping, and Levis says to Nike that she needs to perform the rain ceremony again for their guests. And before that, she gets this letter. And it's the maid's bringing it up to her and says, here's a letter, you got it. And it's back from her country, the Principality of Rain. So it's from them. And we see her read it, and she claims it's nothing, and it's just checking in. And she crumples it up so we can know there's something going on, because the way she crumples the letter and shoves it in her pocket. And she does the rain ceremony, and she finishes, and she comes over, and Levis is like, something's wrong. I can feel it in your song. There's something with your song. There's something you are not telling me about this. So, Levis, even though it's been 3 months, Levis basically can sense, just within her song, her rain summoning song, is something is the matter. Which is huge, because that means there's a huge bond growing. If he can just tell from that, something is the matter, then he really is getting close to her. And, so on there's that. And she confesses. The letter says, she got a letter, and the letter says her grandmother, the former head of the Principality of Rain, had collapsed. So Levis basically changes the destination for the vacation to the Principality of Rain, and basically makes it that within 3 days they will leave for the Principality of Rain. He basically makes it to go as fast as possible. So the fun of this, one of the big funs of this episode, was finally having Levis come over and see Nike's homeland, the place she grew up, and the way he reacts, and it's just so funny. I mean, he gets there, and every time the sisters show up, Nike's sisters show up, she mistakes his butler, his head of staff. She mistakes basically Neil. They mistake Neil for for the king of the Sun King, which is hilarious. And every time Levis is like, that's not the freaking king, it's me, it's me, it's me. So I just loved that so very much, the fact that happened. And I mean, when 2 of her other sisters come in while they're meeting with Nike's grandmother, who turned out really wasn't bedridden, She had just gone out, got heat stroke, had a crick in her back, and laid down. So the whole reason her grandma was bedridden was over-exaggerated. So at least she wasn't hurting, and at least it was that, but it was over-exaggerated. And the fact is, again, two more sisters come in, and they're looking at Neil, and they're going, oh, this is the Sun King. Maybe I should have taken up the offer of marrying the Sun King. And Levis is like, again, it's me. It's me. I'm her husband. It's me. And they leave. But there's a person in the background that we see who is upset about Nike being with Levis. She's someone from the Principality of Rain. I can tell you something important. And he does not like it. He says, when Levis goes home, Nike is not coming with him. So we have this piece being talked about, that someone is possibly jealous or something about Levis having Nike. And the fact that he does not want Levis leaving with her. So there's that. And of course, Neil and Levis are feeling not so good in the Principality of Rain physically because it has a lower air pressure than the Sun Kingdom. So we have that aspect. So towards the end, Levis ends up basically sleeping away, and he ends up getting up and walking out. And Nike comes up to him, and she brings him rice pork that she made him herself. And this is very significant because she's saying, it may not be as good as the stuff that you get in your kingdom, but I made this for you, and I hope you enjoy it. And she goes like, this is delicious. You made this? And she goes, yeah. Everybody in my kingdom cooks. Everyone in my kingdom knows how to cook. And in the moment, as they're bonding in this moment, Nike leans over and finally kisses Levis on the lips in this moment. And she just goes back, and when he leaves, she is like, wait a minute, my body just moved on its own, and I kissed him. And he walks out, and he's blushing, and Neil says, what's wrong with your face? And he's bright red. And basically, the other guy is watching from the side, and he's pissed. And the episode ends. So we have in this episode, like I said, the kiss for me is the biggest thing that has happened in this episode, because it's showing how much Nike has fallen for Levis. Even though she does not 100% get it herself, the fact that she wanted to kiss him is huge. It's freaking huge. And I just love that part. But I'm waiting for the next episode, episode 10, because we got this new character. I want to know more about him, what his true feelings for Nike is, what does he hold against King Levis, all this stuff I want to know. I want to know what's going to happen in the next episode, what's going to happen. Thus, this is the old boy 82 saying, if you like this video, please click like. If you want to see more, please subscribe. This is the old boy 82 signing out.